right now.
Tell me who you are, get in the car.
Right now.
Reach for the stars, I want it all.
Right now.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned, where we talk everything bourbon, whiskey, and of course, old fashions. Today, we're actually not doing old fashions. We may do some pours later on, but for now, we're going to figure out the best way to make a Jack and Coke, right? I have a little recipe in mind, right? I love a good, cherry Coke, but I don't like the taste of fake cherries or any of that crap, right? I also like vanilla Coke, but again, I don't like what they put in the can. It just kind of tastes artificial. So we're going to dive into my version of, a leveled up Jack and Coke. And that's going to obviously start off with a better Jack. Old number 7 is great, right? Can take you back, reminds you of childhood. But for me, I want something with a little bit extra proof and a little bit extra flavor. So we're going to go with the Jack Daniel's Triple Mash, which, if you guys don't know, is basically a blend of 3 of their bonded whiskeys, which is their American malt, their American malt, their rye, and their Tennessee whiskeys. I blanked there for a minute. But we're going to use that. Then you got to go to the Coke. You can't just use a can of Coke. You got to go glass bottle. Not even just glass bottle. You got to get the Mexican Coke because it's made with real sugar, not, corn syrup. So real sugar in your Coke is a must. Then we're going to spice it up with a little bit of vanilla and some Luxardo cherries. So if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream, buckle up, let me know what you're sipping on. Let's check in with the chat, and then we're going to dive in to start making it. Let's see. High Top says 2 minutes. Wow, that's fine. Okay. Bourbon Daddy says 5 minutes. Somebody was late there. Isaiah says, I'm here. Where are you? It's 9:01. You're late. I'm always late. At least a minute. I think everybody's clocks are a little off, but it is what it is. He's like, if he's later than 15 minutes, you get to leave the class. Yeah, basically. Yeah, cane sugar. Real sugar, cane sugar, same thing. Trav says, what up? Trav, welcome back, bud. Anyways, let's dive into the cocktail here. Obviously, the goal is instead of just getting a solo cup, slamming Jack, slamming Coke into it, and just getting hammered, I want to get something a little bit more kind of next level, right? I've been watching Gordon Ramsay Next Level Chef a little bit, so bear with me on my terminology. So, obviously, I'm going to start with the cherries. Right, just to kind of get a good base going. Now, I normally use like the black cherries or even the Woodfords. I feel like the Luxardo kind of just gives it just a little bit. Obviously, I'm going to put 4 cherries in total in here. Blasphemy, I know, right? And then I'm going to take 1 big spoonful of the juice. Put that in there. Where's my napkin? I'm going to make a mess. Put this off to the side. North Florida says, what's up? Sipping on some Bullet Old Fashioned. Bullet Old Fashioned ain't bad right there. Anyways, so from there, you want to get vanilla. I got the Simply Organic Pure Madagascar vanilla. You're not you can't really measure this out because it's literally just a little bit. Because this is obviously a little bit too concentrated. You're not making a tall glass. You're kind of making a cocktail glass. And you can't see because all that's blurred out. Well, that's fun. What a fun time that is. What's happening here, camera? What's up with the cameras and the live streams lately? They say, hey, you know what? Just not feeling it. There he goes. Anyways. It wouldn't be a show without technical difficulties. So anyway, just put a little dash of this in, kind of like the equivalent to what you would put in for a bitters for an old fashioned, right? Then you're gonna move into your whiskey, which obviously Jack and Coke you got to use Jack, right? You can't use Jim and Coke. We tried the Jim and Coke. It wasn't a thing. I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it, but you know what I mean? Anyways, for this one, we're going to put 2.5 ounces. There we go. Obviously, just I don't want to like muddle the cherries up because I don't want them to like mush. But just kind of like crack them, right? Get them a little opened up. I probably should have done that before I did the Jack, but we're here now. Give it a good mix. Trav says Canon, bro facts. It's the old one. Anyway, then we're just gonna pour it right over the ice. There we go. Let's get this out of the way. And then obviously we're gonna top it with some Coke. Look at me. I look like a bartender. Obviously, just gonna fill it up however much you feel like you want Coke in there. I'm just gonna put it up basically the top. And there we have it. A little Jack and Coke, a little spiced up with some vanilla, some cherry, but without all the artificial bullshit. So, cheers. I think Gordon Ramsay would check off, by the way, just for like the next level. Like, did you elevate it? I did. I'm just saying, I did. That's 10 points Gryffindor right there. Max in the chat says WSP. I don't know what that means. Unless it means like what's up. Then what up? Trav says girlfriend is out with her friends tonight. Should we get a little buck wild? I mean, I'm saying like we could dabble. We could see where the night takes us. Last time you hung out with us, you took your shirt off, didn't you? You did something crazy? I can't remember exactly. Trav says looks gas, bro. I'm just saying. It kind of gives you everything you want for a Jack and Coke. Still got the Jack, feeling to it with a little bit of extra proof to it. It's sweet, right? Don't get me wrong, because you're using soda, but using the Mexican Coke, using the vanilla and the cherries instead of having it already kind of built into the can makes it feel a little bit more classed up. Again, there's only so far you can push a Jack and Coke, but I think for this way, you can't really go wrong. So, you guys let me know your thoughts. Is this something you want to drink? Alex says no orange peel. Who's putting orange peel in their Jack and Coke? Come on. High Top says no cute overlay. Cute I'm sure he meant cute. I'm out. He's been hammered. Isaiah says still January for me, but I much enjoy watching. Hey, you got a few more days and then we can start checking off those boxes. No lemon peel, no smoke. Alex, this is a Jack and Coke, not an old fashioned, bud. Should I have put an orange peel, a lemon peel, or smoked a Jack and Coke? This is pretty good. I kind of want to drink it, but like smoking it may throw some dynamics in there. I don't know if that fits this vibe though. Isaiah says Coke is an orange cinnamon drink. I mean, if that's what Coke is supposed to be, I don't know if I taste that. I taste sugar and now cherries, obviously, but let me get the tasting notes. I get corn syrup. Wait, actually, cane sugar. I have no idea. What does Coke taste like? Who can say Coke tastes like anything besides Coke? You know what I mean? iRock says try it. I don't have oranges. I mean, I prepared for a fancy wild cherry Coke and vanilla drink. He says that's the recipe for Coca-Cola? Cinnamon and orange? Well, touche. Hats off to you. I didn't know that. North Force says gotta have the Mexican Coke. A little bit more expensive, but definitely worth it. Yeah, I agree. Bro, it's all about like trying to prevent a hangover at the same time, right? Obviously it has sugar in it, but the corn syrup stuff, anytime I have like soda cocktails, I will absolutely get a hangover. That's not for me. So I'll probably like even like the Jack and Coke stuff. As much as I like to have a little throwback to way back when. You know what I mean? Like I'm one in these and done. Not like drunk. I probably wouldn't even get a buzz off this, but well, maybe, you never know. It's Friday. I'll probably switch to something else, but I wouldn't drink a bunch of these simply because I don't want a hangover. I'm getting old. I can't risk that. I'll be down for like a week. Trav says, who the fuck puts any peel with Jack and Coke? I mean, I get where like it could be like garnish, a little bit of extra notes. I almost put orange bitters in it because I know Coke does go well with orange. I don't want an orange peel in my Jack and Coke though. So that's why I was thinking bitters. I didn't want to mix a liqueur like triple sec or anything like that. But I think you could have done orange peel to make it look fancy. We fancy, but we ain't that fancy. I threw 4 cherries in it, guys. I risked it for the biscuit. I'm just saying. Whiskey Blender Fraley says, Master Blender Fraley here. This is my favorite combination. I had my first Jack and Coke at my father's wedding back in 1977. It was like yesterday. Have loved it ever since. Cheers to you and adding Luxardo. Yeah, it was Jack, triple mash, Coca-Cola, Mexican Coca-Cola because we want the real sugar. We put some Luxardo cherries and we even put a little I keep calling it mascara. A little mascara syrup. No, I'm kidding. A little Madagascar vanilla. I like it. I'm here for it. It's a good time. Isaiah says, you got Diet Coke in your house? But I make a damn good mixer for a weird select, man, it's moving quick, of bourbons I found on accident at the end of some good nights. I don't have Diet Coke. I don't really drink Coke that often. If I'm drinking a soda, usually it's Dr. Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper. I'll bring in like Coke for like a cocktail every once in a while, but I'm not going to claim I'm the biggest soda guy in the world. But I like to dabble every once in a while, especially when it's like a throwback like this, because you can't tell me almost every single person, especially if they're in this channel, has not went to a bar and said whiskey and Coke, Jack and Coke, Captain and Coke. If you're feeling crazy, everybody's ordered that at a bar at one time or another. This is kind of like that throwback. Obviously, it has a couple name brands to it, like Coca-Cola, Jack Daniels, but at the end of the day, whiskey soda. Isaiah says Dr. Pepper cream soda is amazing. That's facts. But the issue is like I quit drinking soda for like 3 years. Just wasn't feeling it. And then when I started like trying to have a couple every once in a while, I really only cared for that first sip. When you first crack a soda, that first like spicy bit, that's all I really wanted. I don't care for the rest of the drink. Fraley says the real ingredients make the whole thing sing. Completely agree. It kind of takes away from like the artificial part, takes away from like the manufactured part as well. It kind of puts in a little bit more organic, real ingredients vibes. It's like Publix to table. So Ricky in the chat says, holla. Isaiah says, fully agree. So Ricky says, just stopping by to say hello. Ricky, hello. Welcome. Happy Friday. Hopefully you guys had a good work week. You're cruising. You're able to relax this weekend. And you're able to have a nice cold drink or a lukewarm drink if you're having a pour. Honestly, like mixed drink stuff's cool. I would rather have a pour. But the cocktail stuff's a good warm up. Nothing wrong with that. If you guys are just popping in, make sure to drop a little like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're just getting started. The whole stream needed to have some professionalism. We broke down a cocktail. Honestly, like until I really thought about it, I wouldn't have put these 3 together. I would have went cherry Coke, old number 7, threw it together like I always used to. But I do think there's like a little bit of an elegance that goes with this as far as making sure that, you put some good stuff in there. If you're going to have a Jack and Coke, let's make it good. iRock says he loves work. That's good. I'm glad you love work. Alex says you want that feeling. That sip. That sip is actually really good. That's the best part about soda. Everything else is kind of whatever. Isaiah says, that's why I only drink soda from regular bottles. Way more carbonated, or as you said, spicy. You know what I mean? Like, you ever had like a spicy Sprite? Come on. You know exactly what I'm referring to. You guys want to know a fun fact? I worked at McDonald's for like years. The reason why everybody hypes up, McDonald's Sprite, McDonald's Coca-Cola, it's not actually because the drink's better. Obviously, the carbonation from a fountain drink is pretty fresh. Don't get me wrong. McDonald's does have their own syrup. It's only like 2% more syrup. But the straws for McDonald's are actually like 3.5% wider than any other straw that's patented. That's a big word for me tonight, I guess. But it allows more carbonation to hit your tongue quicker, which makes you think it's better. So, fun fact. iRock says Wild Cherry Pepsi 0 and Jack D. Hello. iRock, you're kind of like half of the reason where that idea came from. Because I love a good Wild Cherry Pepsi too. But Jack and Coke go together. Jeff says, bro, I haven't had a single sip all January. After this work week, I may have to go take a peek in the cabinet. Probably a bad idea. Trav, I had to explain this to the last stream. Everybody that's doing dry January, congratulations to you. Everything I'm about to say is just a joke. Cool that you're doing it. Now everything's a joke. You guys are putting the liquor stores out of business. You're putting the bartenders. They can barely pay their rent this month because you guys abandoned them for the whole month. I'm doing my part. I show up to the store, I spend my couple dollars, and I'm supporting them. So now it's up to you guys. Trav says, no way. I would have never guessed you worked at McDonald's. I don't know if that's a joke or like a shot. Fun fact, I was not just working in the back of McDonald's. I was an area supervisor over all the McDonald's. So I was pretty much up there. That was back when I was young and dumb, though. Brett says, need the volume up like 15%? I mean, I could. Does anybody else have volume issues? Because I heard that last stream, too. But everybody kept saying it was good. What do you guys think? Am I just talking too low? Or does the volume need to be bumped up? Drew says, I haven't had a dry day yet. Shout out to Drew out here supporting the bartenders. Jeff says, wow, now I feel bad for abandoning the small businesses. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying they miss you. Isaiah said, LOL, no one said I can't buy bottles. You just can't drink them yet. I don't know how to respond to that one. I mean, I guess you're right, but like at the same time, I saw somebody's video today I actually kind of agreed and disagreed with at the same time. Whiskey Noobs? I probably butchered that. Maybe that's not even close. I think it's Whiskey Noobs. He made a video like talking about his collection, saying how like the average person shouldn't have that. And I was like, I totally feel where you're coming from. I was like, love having a big collection, but it's a lot harder to keep up with than the average 10 bottles. Okay, everybody said bump it up a little bit, so I bumped it up. Yes, okay, so Trav said it too. You know what it is, probably? I'm talking away from the mic. I bet you it's a lot louder now. Let me put it back on in front of me. I was not feeling this button. That's what it was. Trav says phone's at 100%. Seems like it's at 60. I'm just trying to do a little ASMR Jack and Coke, guys. Calm down. Calm down. There we go. How's that sound? Sound good? Isaiah says, I like my collection. Nothing wrong with having a collection. I kind of got cut off there mid-sentence. Nothing wrong with having a collection. When you start getting excessive collections, like me, I got a bookshelf over here. I got 3 shelves over here. I got some over here. I got some in the living room. I got some behind the camera. That physically is impossible for me to drink all this whiskey. Now, mainly I do it to, review it, and I can give some to friends if they come over, or people. Trav says that luscious beard's blocking the audio. Now, since I put it to my chest. He said, listen to that beautiful voice. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Um, anyways, but yeah, like in reality, like this much is too much for the average person to like actually drink. I definitely think if you buy a bottle, you should open it up and drink it. I believe like the short or the TikTok, whatever I was watching, was saying like, hey, like have a good selection. You know, make sure you have some rye, you have some bourbons, some scotch if you like scotch, Irish whiskey if you like Irish whiskey, stuff like that. But then also make sure you have like a very small collection of your like, you know, specialty pours. You know, where like everything I have is just throw up everywhere. So I agree with it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm still gonna buy more. So Thomas says, cheers everyone. What in the is dry January? And Thomas, I just found out what dry January was. It's I guess it's where people buy liquor but they don't drink it. It's weird. It's a weird concept. Don't really understand it. RJ says, yeah, mine's too big for me to drink all by myself, but I collect more to share experiences. I love that. Pulling that over. I do think whiskey in general is all about kind of the experience, having a good drink with good friends, stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for that. I just meant like when the average person has like 200 bottles, feels like that might be too much. You know, it is a lot. Don't get me wrong. But also like part of the fun of bourbon and whiskey is it's, bro, I said it last stream. It's like Pokemon, bro. You're trying to just kind of have a little bit of everything. The issue what I have is I'll crack open a bottle, review it, have a drink, enjoy the hell out of it, and then it sits on my shelf and I almost never touch it again sometimes. Not all the times. You boys like to see me open up new bottles all the time, hence why sometimes I got to do streams like this where we do a little Jack and Coke, revisit some bottles, you know, that way they don't feel neglected. Isaiah says, don't drink much alone. I agree with that. I drink a lot on stream, but outside of that, not too much. I mean, I drink off stream, don't get me wrong. Just not as much as most people probably would think. I go hard on stream. Liz says, cheers, boys. Iraq says, I have my trophies and I have my drinkers. This is another good way to put it, right? You got to have your drinkers. I give Tuxedo Cat, who I don't believe is in here, I give him shit all the time. Like, because he likes buying some cheaper stuff, and that's typically what he says he's drinking on. But I know he has some of the Penelopes. I know he has some good bottles, too. Those are like his collection portion, and then he has ones that he drinks often. So, Dwarf Fleur says, I have everything you need in a bar, vodka, tequila, black cognac, and fish hawk rum, etc. We have a little bit of everything, too. Now, obviously, the dominant factor in this house is going to be bourbon, whiskey, you know, we got our ryes, we got our wheateds, we got a little bit of everything in that vicinity. And then I have a cubby that, no joke, is about this big by this big, filled with maybe 3 different vodkas, a brandy. I even have my Evan Williams honey over there because I don't really drink that. And then gin. And then I have a barrel-aged gin over here because I like the look of it. And it's barrel-aged, so. Isaiah says, that's why you need an infinity barrel. You know, I was thinking about that the other day, right? Because I was looking to buy the barrels to like start putting some stuff in to start messing around with it. And then I couldn't choose what barrel I wanted. And then I was like small ones, obviously. If I had a big barrel and filled it with whiskey, what happens in a year when I leave this apartment? What am I supposed to do? Roll it down the stairs? You know what I mean? Like, we could run into some logistic issues as much as I'd love to do that. Thomas says, Friday is my rye day. Friday, rye day. Hey, that's pretty cool. I like that. Don't get mad if I steal that, though. Because that sounds like a good time waiting to happen. You know, ryes for me, it's like, I'm not saying like I get sick of bourbon, but like I drink sweet bourbons, like the sweeter profiles more often. And then I kind of go, you know what, not feeling that. And then I go on a rye kick for like 2-3 weeks. And then I go, all right, I'm going back, right? Then I go back to my normal drinks. Trav says, Thomas, I'll explain. As a fellow degenerate who sends it every morning and every evening at the bar and pounding 600 or 69 420 shots, I can't get it to reload, and slamming Taco Bell every night at 2:30 a.m. Dry January is prep for the next 11 months. Okay, I gotta pull that over. Bro, Trav did not put it better than I've ever heard before in my life. Dry January is simply, like, all jokes aside, you know, people that go to the bars and people that drink, especially the younger crowd, we go hard during the week, go hard on the weekends. But you gotta have a time to let your body reset, maybe eat a little bit healthier. Most of the time it's new year, new me, right? People start hitting gyms, January's. The New Year's resolutions die off by February. And then we're back to being the same old come February 1st or Valentine's Day. But he basically says, hey, if you spend every morning and every evening getting a little buzz, having a couple brewskis with the boys, then going to Taco Bell every night, slamming some double steak quesadillas dipped in cheese sauce and Diablo sauce, well, sometimes you need a little break. And a break is good, don't get me wrong. A break is good every once in a while for fucking wimps. Kidding. No, a break is actually good every once in a while. You'll see me, I'll skip a stream every once in a blue moon. Part of that's for other reasons, but I'm also going to take it as, hey, I don't need the drink this weekend. Have a little refresh, spend time with the kids, stuff like that. So, now I don't think I drink that excessive to where I need a break because I don't drink. Okay, well, this week I drank on Tuesday pretty good. Tuesday, we'll say, got a little lit up. I felt it Wednesday at work. We may have stayed too long on the stream, but I thought Tuesday was a good day to go live. So we may go live again this coming Tuesday or Monday, one of the two, just to see which day works better. But yeah, like other than that, I barely drink during the week of work things. IROC says, nope, no breaks. IROC, stop it. I know you don't drink until Friday, so I don't want to hear it. I labeled this Jack and Coke, but you know what I do think would be good in this? The Old Granddad 114 and Coke with a little cherries, a little vanilla. It just got a little bit of more flavor, a little bit more punch. The Jack Daniel's Triple Mash is bomb, don't get me wrong. Alex says, you belong to us, evil boys. Hey, I'm here for the people. Trav says, obviously I'm kidding, but that was fun. Oh, you were kidding? Yeah, I was kidding too. Bro, that you literally preached that was me at 21, for sure, guaranteed. Literally was Mondays was quarter beer night on the island in St. Augustine. Tuesday was like sink or swim. I don't remember. It was something like all you can drink. Tuesdays at Dos Gatos or something like that, or Acapulco. That's what it was, Acapulco. Wednesday was like another like beer pong night. Thursdays was like another all you can drink night at a different bar. Fridays was downtown, right? You hit the town. You just kind of bar hop on Friday. Same thing Saturdays. Sundays was our only break day, but we drank at the house watching football. So almost every single night when we would go out, it was Steak and Shake, Taco Bell, or Denny's. So I know better than everybody. Those meals hit different at 2 a.m. So just saying. I used to get down. If I tried to do that now, 1 week, I'd be dead. There's no shot I could do that for a week straight. That would be a pretty cool vlog, though. Like trying to relive your 21. Try to go back to when you're 21 and relive it, doing what you did then, but now, oh, God. How hungover I would be at the second day, it would be unbelievable. IREX says can't do the Old Granddad 114. It's too good slow. I agree, hence why it's not over here. Brent says, currently got Eagle Rare and Cherry Coke. Well, Brent, may I interest you in a fancier Cherry Coke? Mexican Coca-Cola. Put some Luxardo cherries, maybe 3. a little dab of the Madagascar vanilla, and then you can put your Eagle Rare in there. Ta-da! Brett says, also shout out to you. Your production value is so much higher than the average channel. Oh my God. I'm going to cry. No, I know. Like, that's a cocky thing to say right off the bat. I do. That's like the one thing that I really do love about my channel. It's also kind of part of the fun, is I like to make things look good, make it look cool. I can't wait till the bourbon hunting video is actually done, because I do think the one thing I kind of harped on is I don't want it to be me pulling my phone out and just going bourbon hunting. I want it to be more entertaining, more cinematic, more movie-esque. And I think everybody else is going to enjoy that too. But it's going to be hit or miss, to be honest. Like, some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it because they're going to be like, who cares about that fancy B-roll? Show me the price of that bourbon. Understandable. My chat just kind of scrambled for a second. That's crazy. Tux says, what's Tux OF account? I have no idea, bro. I didn't know he had one. Isaiah said, jokes aside, you would just move the juice from the barrel into a 5-gallon bottle, then move it all out. Okay, true. See, like, to be honest, I wasn't joking. I really didn't know that. So, I mean, I guess I would have figured it out, but I kind of like stopped looking because I was like, we may move soon, so like, let me hold off. But there's always a way. I understood. I do want to get the little ones though. I don't know which ones to get. I'm very torn. North Florida says, picked up our first wheated bourbon, Green River, sipping on it now. Very good. With some different tasting notes. First off, Green River is great in general. I haven't actually had their wheated. I almost picked it up like twice, but one of the times I got their Foolproof. Is that what it's called, right? Foolproof? Yeah, Foolproof. Trav says, looks great, always. I know, bro. I tried to tell you. I know. Sometimes, well, don't get me wrong. I can't get the camera to focus half the time, but when it does, it's crispy. That chat scrambling kind of threw me off. Anyway, boys, if you haven't already, drop a little like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. We are trying to hit 2,225. 2225. That's my lucky number, the day the kid was born. Somebody said I was copying if I did all twos, so I don't want to do that. I mean, I'd let them hold it. I'm just, they better keep up. Isaiah says, we got to get chatting in the Discord. Isaiah, are you in the Discord? Is that you in the Discord that I've been talking to? Buto. Bro, Buto? Finally. He says, where's Cat? Bro, I don't know. Like, this sounds like a Tux comment, by the way, but to be honest, he was in the Discord. He said he was at Outback. He was about to hit on some chick that was killing like 3 steaks. All of a sudden, he disappeared. I'm not saying something happened. I'm just saying it sounds like something that would happen. Oh, Boozer says, oh my God, wasting Luxardo cherries on Coke. Hey, first off, this is the only cherries I could find because I was out. I didn't want to. But Luxardo is not my favorite, so I'm okay with it. But I put 4 in there, right? You know what I mean? Like it's ballsy. That's like $5. They won't go to waste. Trav says, Sheldon, tell the chat who put you on. Put him on what? The Luxardo? I should have had Shelton bring over his big urn of cherries. That would have been okay. Thomas says, my favorite wheated bourbon is Southern Star Cask Strength. I don't know if I know that one. I'm horrible with names, though, so that might play a factor, but he said, yes. Yeah, bro. You're in there. We'll chat it up. If you guys are local to the Jacksonville area, March 22nd, we have not confirmed this, by the way. because it's really close to the kid's birthday. So like, who knows what's actually going to happen? But there is a beer, bourbon, and barbecue festival in Jacksonville. I checked it out last year. I almost went. Obviously, the kid was born, so we didn't do that. Or the kid was here. I can't remember. One of the two. Either he was here and he was new, or she was pregnant. We didn't do it. But apparently, that festival, they have tons of different, bourbon distilleries out there. They have some beer too, which would be kind of fun. Plus, they have food, which sounds like a good time in general. So I'm definitely going to check that out this year. We just got to figure out on, what we exactly do there. Iraq says, top, sipping bourbon, messing up bets, the usual. Pro facts. Puto says, what's the little bottle on the right side? This is vanilla. I did a fancy Jack and Coke. I did basically Jack Daniel's triple mash, Mexican Coca-Cola, Luxardo cherries, about 3 to 4 of them, depending on how much you really want. And then just like a dash of Madagascar vanilla. Mix it up, fancy Jack and Coke with a little vanilla, a little cherry accents to it. So it actually was really good. Definitely one of the better Jack and Cokes that I've had. Now, is that the bourbon being a little bit more expensive, or is it just me making a fancy cocktail? It wasn't really too fancy. It kind of was. It gave you a little bit of both, right? It gave you a little bit of nostalgia of being, being a Jack and Coke, but also felt elevated in a sense of it gave you a little bit more. Blood Sports 66 says, "What up, homies? Happy 2025. It's been a minute. Haven't seen you since last year, I don't believe." Right? Get it? Yep, it's vanilla. It is pure Madagascar vanilla, non-alcoholic. You could have got the alcoholic one, but Buto says, "Come on, you don't make bourbon cocktail commie old fashioned." First off, this is whiskey, not bourbon. But I understand what you're saying. Chopsticks in the house says, "Hey, bro." Chopsticks, what's up, bro? When you have made a, I don't know what that says, Buto. Bloodsport says, "Yep, it's been a minute." It's all right. I'm glad to see you. Hopefully you had a good New Year's, Christmas, all that jazz. Hopefully you had a good work week too, and you're ready to have a couple sips, pours, whatevs. The question is what do I... What? That threw me. I don't know. I'm going to skip it because I don't know what you're saying. What should I have a pour of now? I could do the... You know what? We should do the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. Feels like a good time to break it out. I'm not mixing this. That was like a good debate too. It's like I almost put this in the Jack and Coke, and then I woke up and realized like that might be a little too far. We can stir everybody up. We can piss them off with the Jack and Coke, but we can't burn the bridges. And triple mash is good, but it's not that expensive. Ooh. Isaiah says, "Diet is also good with extra strength bullet." It's funny because I don't like either by themselves. Okay, that's different. If you don't like either by themselves, I have no idea how you like them together. Every once in a while, I like a good diet soda, but it's, again, I like that first couple sips. That's really all I'm using it. What the fuck? Trav says, "How many times do you use a bath towel before you wash it?" I don't know, once? Twice, max? If I'm doing just the beard, probably twice. If it's like the beard and anything else, then that's it. It's done. We got a lot of towels though. Let me kind of slide this stuff over here. Get it out the way. My little baby bottle. 133.3 proof. It's it passes the punch. Smells, bro. It smells like Jack, but it also smells like more sophisticated Jack. A Monte Casino. I haven't made no money, if that's what you're saying. I haven't made nothing from YouTube. If that's not what you're referring to, I'm totally lost. Sometimes I like Jack and Coke. Don't beat me up. I like a little Jack and Coke. I'm pretty sure you were the one telling me to make cocktails. I made a cocktail. Baby steps, you know? Isaiah says Diet and Buffalo Trace is a solid combo. I tested a lot of combinations and just keep drinking what works. I mean, obviously, anybody, if you like a cocktail, whether if it's, you know, Jack Daniels and Sprite, for that matter, like if that's what you like, by all means, drink it. I'm not going to read your stuff out loud, Thomas. I don't want anybody to clip that up for you. But, I mean, yeah, drink whatever you like. Like me, I like old fashions. People tell me all the time to switch it up. That's just what I like. I like a good old fashioned. I like to swap up my old fashions all the time. But at the end of the day, that's what I typically like. Or pour. I like drinking it neat. Very rarely do I like it on ice, but I've dabbled. I think it was like Christmas Eve. I had a bullet on ice for whatever reason. So, Bloodsport says just had that 133 last week. Wow, bro, 133. When you get to that range of proof, it's spectacular. That's why I refuse to finish my bottle off. Bloodsport says Jack Daniel's single barrel still my favorite under $100, non-fish hawk. It's hard to beat, bro. It's good. It's got heat, especially compared to a Jack and Coke. Isaiah says, I hate ice. I hate ice, my bourbon. He's like, but 90% of my pours are neat, but I hate icing my bourbon. I mean, totally get it. Every once in a while, it's just like to spice it up, you know, switch it up in a sense. You can't always be the guy drinking it neat when everybody else is like doing weird shit. That's why I threw ice in it. But also because like Bullet isn't like the greatest in the world to me, so I was like, I'm not missing out on anything. I've had it a million times. I'm okay with it. Like this, I would never put on ice. I feel like that would water it down and just defeat the purpose. Let's see. Butu says, okay, I'll fly out and we'll do a show together and we'll make 3 cocktails. Let's go. I will gladly have you here. He's like, give me a date. I don't know. I'm kind of free whenever you are during the weekends, except for like February 22nd range or March 22nd to 25th. And other than that, I'm pretty much open. You just tell me what to buy. I'll buy all the stuff. We'll do cocktails all night. Brent says, have you had Jack Bonded Rye? I have not. I have the triple mash, which has their bonded rye in it, and it has their, you know, single malt Tennessee whiskey, all bonded, but I've not had their individual rye. I've only seen it once. I literally saw it on like a post, then saw it in store, and I go, is this normal? And I've just ignored it, or has this been a thing? But I was already like maxed out of budget. I haven't seen it since. So Trav says, I did pick me up that double oak Woodford for the first time. Shit was fire. He's like, I know everyone had it, but Trav, what you got to pick up now is the Woodford's double oak. We finally picked it up, so it's been a cool thing. But no, Woodford's double oak is money. If anybody does like whiskey or bourbon and has not for some reason had that, that is the #1 recommendation I could ever give somebody. It is good. and also approachable, good for beginners too. It's all around pretty good. Bloodsport says, I'm still sticking to what I like. Irish and Japanese whiskeys, call me old-fashioned. I mean, I'm not the biggest Irish one, but the Japanese, I definitely want to dive into a little bit farther this year. Obviously, I got my Hibiki somewhere in here. I love the Hibiki. I don't want to spend the money on the big expensive ones of Hibiki though, so I may like dabble into a couple other brands first, and then maybe circle back, get an expensive one towards the end of the year or something. Zay says, what's going on February 22nd again? I have a wedding and it's my anniversary. So, not a joke. LOL says, Bullet single barrel opens up nicely after about 1/3 of the bottle is gone. Okay. Honestly, like if we're talking about drinking in a single night, everything tastes better after 1/3 of the bottle's been drank. But I totally get what you mean. Like after a little bit's taken out, things open up. There's been a few bottles that's done that for me where like you drink it and you're kind of like whatever about it. After you tried it so much, like a good chunk's missing, all of a sudden it gets good. Buto says, LOL, I'll holler, nah, I'll buy. Would be fun. I mean, if you want to buy, like, or you can call it a date. I don't care. But typically I would just buy it because I have a lot of stuff here already. But North Florida says bonded rye is 3 sums up. All right. There's a few things like on my list of like semi-budget, semi-mid-range that kind of like are on my new hunting list. I think we'll add that because also like who doesn't like a little good Jack Daniel's rye anyway? Trav says I've had the Hibiki. I like Hibiki. The only downside is it's the low proof for like $100. I want to get the expensive Hibikis with the higher proof and all that. But they're like $300. That's kind of like where I'm like, is it really worth it? It just depends. Isaiah says, I remember we were talking about a day trip, but don't remember when it was planned. We were talking about going to Fish Hawk with North Florida Bear, the comment on screen actually. And I don't remember the date exactly either. I know it's not this weekend, maybe the following or the one after. I think we still got to iron out, but we'll figure it out. Anyways, if you haven't already, drop a little like on the stream, subscribe. We're on the road to 2,225. That's the goal. That's our early goal. 2 million will be fine, but that's being greedy. I'm not being greedy. 2,225 is just good enough. Anyways, the Jack single barrel proof Frisco 9 says, hello from Mexico City. That's pretty cool. Mexico City. I don't even know where that is exactly. I know it's in Mexico, but hello, happy Friday. North Florida says, saw some interesting bottle picks from Bruzel on his site. $12 shipping, so maybe worth it. February 1st, Fish Hawk. Okay. We'll figure something out for February 1st for Fish Hawk. I know you emailed me, but my emails get buried pretty quick. But I know it's in there, and we'll figure something out. But yeah, North Florida. I didn't watch his whatever you were just talking about his picks, or that might be part of his like I don't know program, club, something like that. I'm not in that, but $12 shipping is not bad in general. Most of the time, shipping is like $20 to $30. So if you can find something for $12 shipping, and you like the price of the bottle, I mean, it's not that bad. Not Joke says, all of it tastes like simple syrup to me after the buzz kicks in. Sometimes. Isaiah says, what benchmark do you have right now? Right now, I have benchmark bonded, benchmark single barrel. Obviously, bonded is 100 proof. The single barrel is 95 proof. No Joke says with a little bit of oak. I mean, a little bit of oak's good for you though. Trav says chat is popping. Let's fucking go. Trav, you missed Tuesday stream. We were cruising, bro. We had like 50, 60 people in here. We had 100 at one point for a very short period of time. But hey, we're building. We're growing. We're not asking for too much. I'm just saying, hey, drop a little like, maybe subscribe. Isaiah says, I'm down for February 1st. Trav, you're in Florida. You're going to come up to Ocala February 1st, do a little distillery run? I don't know. Something at the distillery. North Florida says his site opens up to non-members after a period of time. I haven't really checked that out, but maybe I should. I mean, I'd love to find a good bottle that I actually want for decent shipping. My issue is like the tax, the shipping, everything adds up, and I'm like, I should just go to a liquor store, you know? Isaiah says, yeah, you got the good ones. I would recommend Full Proof, only as a mixer. Not as something you like. I like to drink, but make something a little fruitier. It's a good old fashioned. Oh, it's a good old fashioned. Yeah, Isaiah. The running joke with me is I went both times I bought those bottles. I went to buy Full Proof. The first time I was like, full proof. They said bonded, pick up bonded. Right? Came back and said, oh shit, my bad. All right. I went back again. Said full proof. Single barrel. Those are good. Let me pick a single barrel. And totally shit the bed. Now I just like kind of gave up. Trav says, sorry, I'm in Dallas. We'll be in Florida on the 13th. Well then. I thought you were in Tampa for some reason. That's my fault. We'll figure it out. My nose has been a little off lately. I will say, this one's got like a lot of heat to it. Like more than probably any of my other bottles, for sure. It's the only one that makes me go. So, Isaiah says, if you're having trouble finding it, I can bring a bottle when I come on February. I can find it, but I've only ever found it when I have a cart full of stuff, and I'm like, the extra $20 would push me over budget. And it's nothing that like I'm like dying to have, but it's just a funny joke that I went to the store twice looking for a certain bottle, and both times I know it was there, but I completely blanked and bought the wrong one because in Florida they have the benchmark almost everywhere. Not all of them, don't get me wrong. Full Proof's a little bit harder to find, but the bonded, the single barrel, top floor, small batch, you can find those pretty much everywhere. So I just thought it was funny that I kept buying the wrong one. But benchmark's good. I like it as a mixer. Old Fashions is not bad. I don't mind it as a pour either. It just depends on like what kind of night I'm feeling. Like if I'm looking to drink a little bit mid-range to higher end stuff, I probably stay away from it. But I like adding into blinds to give me perspective. Granted, it always shows up at the bottom, but it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's my last pick. Yeah, an old Fitzgerald? I need an old Fitzgerald. Wood hat, stuff under 100 that I would like to try. Don't tell everybody I'm trying to go pick one up then. If they got a Fitzgerald, send me the link. I need that. That motherfucker has some heat to it, does it? I think it's gotten like stronger sitting in that bottle. The one thing about Coca-Cola, by the way, is it's got to be ice cold. There's no drinking soda in a sense of if it's like room temp. Like that's psychopathic tendencies, by the way. I mean, I'll dabble, but it's got to be cold. I'm going to regret drinking that soda, by the way. Isaiah says, I'm still excited for the ultrasonics video. Tux just messaged Discord, say he's eating. I'm going to say, everybody's looking for you. So when he comes in the chat, be like, where were you? We were all looking for you. Buto says, 1/2 ounce of George Dickel rye whiskey, 3/4 ounce of cognac, 3/4 ounce of sweet vermouth, 2 teaspoons. Damn it, moved. Benedict liquor, 4 dashes of Dale D. Croft, pimento aromatic bitters, garnish, maraschino chili, and a lemon twist. What is that? I know what that is. What is that? Is that in Manhattan? What is that? Well, no, maybe not with the liqueur part. I have no idea what that is. Isaiah says, I fully agree. I'll throw the soda away if it's warm. If I just open it up for some reason it's warm, it's back in the freezer for a couple minutes. If it's been out of any decent amount of time, like it's for the garbage disposal. No Joke says, it gets spicy at room temp. I mean, I like the spicy part. I need it cold. I need an ice cold beverage if we're drinking a beverage of anything besides whiskey. Butu says, just made that with chocolate bitters, cherry, very smooth. Okay. I do have, like, I bought the vanilla for 2 things because I have an old fashioned I want to make that's going to be vanilla, but I got to turn it into vanilla simple syrup. Obviously, I got to make that one where everybody's like, oh, you're not going to buy it? You're just going to make it? Yes, I'll make it this time. Vanilla simple syrup, chocolate bitters, cinnamon, and a toasted bourbon, and a cherry for sweetness if I feel like spicing up. But if not, that's fine. It's supposed to make like a campfire-ish old-fashioned. Isaiah says, one of my dirty little secrets is really like a White Russian with salted caramel crown. Tastes like salted caramel coffee. It's amazing. Isaiah, you missed it. You're a couple months shy. If you go back, there's a live stream with me and the wife. I made her a White Russian with the Bailey cinnamon. I had Kahlua. I had the Wheatley vodka, Kahlua, Bailey cinnamon churro, and then like pumpkin spice whipped cream. I think it was fall. Bro, she loved it. She was like, this is everything. She likes White Russians. I like a sip of a White Russian, but that's not a drink for me. It's sweet, milky, not whiskey. So not for me. Because I like myself whiskey, black coffee, no sugar. So, right? I'm a man. No, I like what I like, you know. My coffee black, my whiskey neat. That's a song, right? Buto says, my favorite drink is 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce, and a 1/2 ounce. Okay. Buto says, substitute bourbon rather than rye. Not as spicy. I bet it was a PSL cocktail. Iraq says, Wheatley vodka is so good. Only one I'll drink. To be honest, like I didn't care for it that much. I don't like vodka in general. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not the person to take vodka recommendations from. But I expected a little bit more. The only vodka that I actually care, like if I was going to drink one, like if I had to choose one, to be honest, I'm choosing the St. Augustine one. The St. Augustine, I mean, it sounds kind of douchey, but like even the Manifest, Jacksonville's and St. Augustine whiskeys are made with like local water that it has like a citrus vibe to it. So it's not flavored vodka, but it has like hints. and like subtle notes of citrus and kind of earthy undertones that kind of gives it a little bit more dynamic than just vodka. I know that's not normal, but that's what I like. Chopsticks is what state from? Florida. I'm in Jacksonville, St. Augustine area of Florida. Eric says White Russians used to be my jam. I mean, back in the day, you know, I'd love a White Russian. So, but it's just, I don't care for like the milky stuff anymore. I don't care for sweet stuff anymore like that. My coffee, if we're having anything coffee wise, it's definitely black. I don't do the frilly, fruity things anymore. Do you like Carajillo? I don't even know what that is. I probably butchered the name. Hyrox says Gator water. Whatever it is, like I'm okay with it. But both their gins have it. Like St. Augustine's and Manifest gins are the only gins that I really actually like. Chopstick says hello from Cali. Cali in the house. A bunch of people from California that usually come in here. Not a lot of people from Florida for some reason, which is fine. I mean, we got a couple. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I don't know. There's something about the St. Augustine's and the Manifest distilleries that just, they have good gin, they have good vodka. Not good, they have good enough. Both whiskeys I like quite a bit. Obviously, Manifest Rye, St. Augustine's Bourbon, you know. So. Booter said, is there a similar drink to Irish coffee with bourbon? What? Yeah, there, what is it, Irish, so you got like, what is it called? Bro, I can't, I'm dyslexic, bro. You're like, I'm going to sound it out. And I'm like, I can't read. I can read, don't get me wrong, but like, barely. That's good. I need something a little different, though. What to drink, boys? What's the next out? Tater Dom says, cheers, call me old fashioned, everyone. Welcome to the stream, bud. Happy Friday. Glad you can make it. What should we drink now? I'm kind of like, I didn't have much planned for that. And we got the Jack Daniels down. Well, I'm good with the Jack now. I had enough Jack. You know. You know what I'm upset? I almost went and it says Old Dominic, not Old Fitzgerald. I figured, but it's okay. I could get the Old Dominic almost everywhere. Isaiah said antique. I don't have that. I have Special Reserve, but I probably just wait on that. GameStop's going to the move again. He said, "Old Granddad 114, do it." I mean, that sounds like a good time. Nothing wrong with that. Let me see. Brent says, I don't know how you feel about ginger beer, but I recommend a Kentucky Mule. I've had a Kentucky Mule. They're not my favorite, but it definitely like spices it up, switches it up, so I'm okay with that. I don't have all that stuff, so I can't make that tonight, but boys, I'm getting old. My back's still killing me, bro. Killing me. Don't listen to him, Brent. He lives in Washington. People are like, what the hell are you drinking Old Granddad with the vanilla out for? Do a little OGD 14 or 114. Anyways, so 312 is my go-to bar. Impossible to mess it up. I mean, you'd be surprised. I've been to a few bars where they'll no joke, I went to Hooters. Now, I know that's not like an exact bar, but it's a sports bar. And I ordered an old-fashioned. No joke, they gave me simple syrup on the bottom. They made it in a cup like this. And then put ice in, and then poured Angel's Envy on top and just handed it to me. No cherry, no orange, no bitters, not even a little mixy mix. Because the first sip was like watered down Angel's Envy, and I was like, that's disgusting. And then as I got closer to the bottom, they taste a little bit sweeter, and I go, holy shit, it's not just whiskey on ice, it's actually dog shit. So. Pucha says, you guys know, Call Me Old Fashioned Bar is a lot like ours, where we just reach around, grab one of 100 bottles of stuff. I mean, my bad. I'm not trying to be like, look what I have. I just wanted to pour. Budo comes in, checks me all the time. You know, he's like, fuck that guy. He's like, put your bottles back. But don't bring out your bottles. That's funny. He's like, dog shit. Yeah, bro, it was the worst old fashioned I ever had. And I literally knew ordering it was going to be bad because I didn't order that at the start. They had like a fancy Jack and Cherry Coke, but I guess they used like some kind of like syrup or something because they couldn't make it. And I knew then when they couldn't make a Jack and Cherry Coke that I was fucked. So I was like, okay, old fashioned. And my wife looked at me, she goes, I thought you weren't going to do that. I go, I know, this is going to be gross. And of course, it was gross. They couldn't even make her margarita good. Puto says, I'm kidding, man. Lucky you. I know you're kind of kidding. I do have a pretty extensive bar. But if you come here, I'll let you try it all. So I'll gladly open it up. You can come in and drink. Unless you're like a psychopath, and then I'll put you in handcuffs and I'll force feed you the sips or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Stride says, cheers all. Been checking around for that Woodford's double-double. No luck yet. Yeah, I know, Stride. Like, I hate to say, like, I definitely got lucky. Because of the mass production, because it got sent everywhere, I knew it wasn't going to sit. So when I was able to get it, I knew that was like somebody's just looking out, But it's sitting up there. See? Cool little bottles. It looks a lot better in person. Like I like the look of the backdrop, but it looks better in person. It looked better if I had one more though, make it real even. I'm just being picky. I got to get that, the wine finish one. I think that would be good. I think that's a good mix. A double oak, a high proof, a wine finish. Give me a little trifecta there. I also got to pick up the single malt Woodfords, the rye from Woodfords, and the wheated from Woodfords. I think those would be good to have in general. Good to test out their other lineups because I have not had those, surprisingly enough, even though I am a big Woodfords fan. Putza says, nope, I want you to name 10 bourbon/whiskeys to have in a basic bar. Something we can all do. Okay, let's try to go like non-allocated, right? I'm going to go for my area in Florida. So I think having something like Jim Beam Black 7-year age is good. 18, 19 bucks. If you can find it at Total Wine for 17, even better. I'm talking 750 milliliters, by the way, not the handles. So the Jim Beam Black 7 years is really good. You could probably also pick up Evan Williams Bottled in Bond as well, right? That would be another good like budget bottle to have right next to that. That we have a low proof and a high proof option. I think personally, Elijah Craig is one of the better old fashions for low proof for me. So I'll go Elijah Craig, just small batch, not even like the full proof. I would go Woodford's Double Oak, of course. That's my like fancy pour / fancy old fashioned, depending on you know, how I'm feeling that night. So, Jim Beam Black 7-year, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, Elijah Craig Small Batch, Woodford's Double Oak. I would probably spice it up, get Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond. You can find that most places. I like that one a lot. I like that one as a pour. I like that one as a old fashioned too. I know that's kind of crazy for whatever. I would pick up Penelope Architect for number 6. That one's getting a little bit up in price. Also gives you a little bit extra proof at 104, I believe. But I really like the vanilla end of that. Brent says 1792. I'm not recommending 1792, so I don't actually care for it. I like the flavors. It just, you'll have to go back and watch a review of that. So I'm up to 6. I'm going to do a hometown pick. St. Augustine's Florida Straight Bourbon. Bonus points if you can find a single barrel. I think single barrels are light years ahead of their regular one. But that's kind of a little bit more crafty. That you can say, hey, look, the oldest city with their oldest bourbon, right? Fun story time. So now we're up to 8. So we got 2 more. So we got to pick up something a little bit more. A little bit higher price. Let's go Still Austin Cask Strength, right? I think Still Austin Cask Strength would be a good pick in there. We don't have any rye. I left off rye. I fucked up there. Let's do New Rift Single Barrel Rye for number 10. So I think that's a good milligram. It's a bottle and bond as well at 100 proof. I also really love New Rift. So I think all of those would be good. Almost everything I just named off, you should be able to find at a Total Wine. So, or an ABC or any kind of normal chain store. But yeah, so there's 10. Northwest says Publix has Joss Everett, buy 1, get 20. Get $20. Like a light motor oil note. I'm okay. I don't need that. But it says, there you go. Brent says, yes. Jonathan says, Jack Daniel's single barrel proof bourbon or rye. I mean, I just got done drinking the bourbon. I mean, I guess you could pick that up. It took me a while to find them, so. Boo says, thank you very much. Call me old fashioned. You rock. You rock. I mean, there's other things I would offer out too. I kind of went towards more like budget-ish, right? Because anytime you start getting up in price, sometimes it gets harder and harder to find. But I think that gives you a little bit of everything as like a starter bar, right? Now, if you're wanting like a private like pour collection, we'd talk about maybe some other things. But I think that gives you options for cocktails, gives you options for pours, old fashions, different types of cocktails as well. So. Brett says, Jonathan, Jack Single Barrel Rye is 8+ out of 10. Stride says, Jonathan, the rye is the way to go. Isaiah says, are my messages going through? Oh, I just didn't see it because I was doing other stuff. He said, 4 Roses small batch. Did my camera just die? How is that possible? We have barely been live. I like 4 Roses. I'm not going to say the small batch is my favorite. I do like the single barrels, but there's a little bit too much variety for me to be like, hey, go pick one up because I haven't had them all. I don't think their like base lineup is good enough to be on that list. But, I mean, at the end of the day, all that stuff is just like what I think would make a good bar in general. Not the best bar or the must-have or anything. I think those are all doable, usable, and I don't think anybody would really be mad if they showed up to a random house and said, somebody pulled that out and said, hey, get yourself a drink. They look at that and go, hell yeah, at least they knew what they were doing to an extent. They're not going to be like, oh, no fucking Jack Daniels, I'm out of here. So that's funny. Northway says, the Weeded Green River, $32.99, great deal. Not bad for the price. Jonathan says they are everywhere in Connecticut. Picks galore. Okay. Adam says, how you doing today, brother? Hey, we're doing pretty good. We're having a little, earlier we had a fancy Jack and Coke. You'll be able to watch that earlier. I'll probably make a little short of it too. But now we're kind of cruising on, having a little hangout session, chat with the chat, having some old granddad 114. Isaiah says you should use it's called San Sebastian port barrels as your infinity barrel. That'd be cool. I'm not the biggest wine guy, so I don't know, because we dump stuff into that, and I may like regret it. But I see where you're coming from. The St. Augustine distillery they have a port finish, and they use the San Sebastian's port wine as how they finish their bourbon. It's good. It's not my favorite though, and it's kind of pricey. But like if I was to make my own, I'd probably be a little bit better because I would use bourbon. I probably like a little bit more. I'd probably add a little bit more oakiness to it, probably a little bit more proof as well, and that might help it. It would be a cool experiment. I'd say if not the first one, but eventually, for sure. That'd be cool. I'd probably use the port though. I'd use just a regular sweet red. But anyways. It's been a while. So what are you guys sipping on? Obviously North Florida is sipping on the Green River Wheated. What are you guys else having? The Old Granddad was good. It didn't hit like that spot. Like to be honest, it's going to be the Woodford's Double Double. I already know it. Maybe I do double oak first. Try to like not, right? I got to try and preserve that bottle because I know my mind's saying, pick it up, drink it. I'm going to bring it over just for funsies. Just for funsies. Put this stuff away. But no, I like all the St. Augustine stuff to an extent. It just depends on like what it is. Their toasted is actually really good. It's a little harsh comparatively, but their single barrels are incredible. So like it sucks to say, I've never seen the single barrels at the distillery where I think they fuck up doing that, because I do think they need to sell those at the distillery, or they're not going to get as much money from me. Because if they started selling those at the distillery, I would go a lot more often. I would take the tour. I'd have fun. I'd have a couple cocktails. I'd probably buy more shit in general because I just want the single barrel. So, Buto says, thanks, guys. Past my bedtime. Y'all enjoy. Buto, it's been fun. Thanks for stopping by. Glad you can make it and kind of interact with us for a little bit. We may be live tomorrow. Not for long, but tomorrow, you know. And then check out either Monday or Tuesday. I think we're going to open up another day. But obviously you have the bell turned down, so you come see us when you're free. Irock says, Cooper's 100. Okay. North Four says, I asked about the double oak at our Publix. The lady said it was here, then it was gone. Tried to tell you. Yeah, it hit Publix's, bro. Just not a lot. Like none of these places are getting like pallets. You know what I mean? They're getting a box of 4 to 8. And they're doing that so they can say they sent it everywhere. It's still a limited run. Don't get me wrong. This isn't like produced like their double oak. This is still like a small limited amount of barrels that are going to touch every state. That way they're kind of helping build their own brand in a sense, being like, hey, check out this double. More money, bigger bottle, blah, blah, blah. And eventually they're going to sell more of the double oak because of it. So Jonathan says, just finished a pour of 1792, full proof, now having a pour of 1970 something. Connecticut craft bourbon. I like 1792's full proof flavors, it just gives me this dry mouth afterwards that really just rubs me the wrong way. That's why I don't care for that too much. $1970 something. I got it. I got it. IROC says double here in Kentucky has gone from 40 when I got it here to 60. IROC, they changed it from the 375 milliliter bottles where you could get it for like 40 to 60 bucks somewhere in that window to the 700 milliliters. They obviously increased the bottle size, put it in the fancy Master Collection bottles, and then jacked it up to like 180 bucks. So Jimbo says, cheers, cheers. Welcome to the stream, bud. So that's one of the downsides. It costs a lot more. I mean, it is what it is, but I gotta turn that alert thing on. Give me 1 second. I'll turn that on. When people subscribe, I want to know. I want it to come across the stream, but alert box, copy. There it goes. Now, if you subscribe, it should alert me and let us know you're part of the family. We're up to 1,723, about 500 to go until we hit our goal, which isn't far off. Not too far indeed. Oh, IROC says, my bad. Double, not double. Yeah, I'd say like you could have found it for like 40 back in the day, right? Like some places had it on sale. I'd say right now, even at like Costco, Total Wine, stuff like that, you're gonna find it for around 50-ish bucks. I still categorize it as a $50 bottle because sometimes you can't find it for cheaper. Just depends on where you're at. IROC says the double 375 was 70. I never bought one. I heard it was like $59.99, so maybe 70 with tax or something. But Chiggy says, "Let's drink." Ba 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 ba. There you go. Should we play music for that? Hold on. Do I have music ready?
Right now. Tell me who you are, get in the car. Right now. Reach for the stars, I want it all.
Turned it off. I turned it off. My bad. We got a little too intense for a minute. My bad. IROC says, thanks, Strad. I'm a dum-dum. That's funny. I did pour the double oak, right? I mean, I wouldn't be mad if I didn't, but... Why are you laughing, bro? I brought you in with a hype song. I got you. I don't know why that the Woodford's double oak is just so good to me. Like, I had the other pours, and I'm like, these are good. Don't get me wrong, they're not bad pours. But it, like, you know when like you're just waiting for something to hit the spot? Like, that's what I was waiting for. I was just waiting for a little double oak. I think it's because I drank for like the past like 4 times, and it just wasn't like connecting. Oh, I just now noticed that. Even on the Woodford's double oak, it says barrel finish select, just like it does for the double. Versus like the Master's Collection typically says Master's Collection at the top. The more you know. I'd like to visit the Woodford's distillery. I heard it's not like the best, you know what I mean? But I think that'd be a cool place to visit. Isaiah says, I'm calling it for the night. It's getting late. I got an early morning. Going to hit the fireplace and relax with the movie. Isaiah, before you go, what movie? I got to know. You can't leave me on a cliffhanger like that. I got to know what movie. But totally get it. I mean, it's Friday. I don't expect everybody to hang out all night, but I do appreciate anybody that does pop in, says hello, likes the stream, subscribes, you know, not asking much. But yeah, anybody that kind of spends their Friday night with me having a drink, always appreciated, of course. But Isaiah, if you leave without telling me that movie, I may never sleep tonight. That's like one of those things like you're like, hey, guess what? And then you leave. Like you never know what it is. Those things. He's like, I'm going to let the girl decide. Oh, you don't even know yet? Okay, at least I know like you didn't know, I guess. That's funny though. Well, have a good night, bud. Hopefully you and the lady do a little Netflix and chilling, have a couple bourbons, you know. Go have a little Isaiah. I'm kidding. I got you. Either way, bud, have a good rest of your night. Grizzly says, I'm a bit new to the whiskey game, and I'm really enjoying the Japanese whiskey. Which one do you have, Grizzly, if you don't mind me asking? I'm just going to pull mine down. A lot of people are talking about Japanese tonight. If Japanese is making a little comeback, little run, I'd be totally game to get more into it. Isaiah said, peace. I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully we can chat more in the Discord. Yeah, hopefully. I've been a little busy, but typically weekends a little bit better. I have the Hibiki Grizzly. This is the one I have. Troy says, I had a pour of the new Riff, bottled and bond last night. Way too much ethanol. And big Kentucky hug going down. Wasn't a fan. Which one? Almost all new Riffs are like bottled and bond, by the way. Wait, what the fuck are we talking about? Bottled and bond? Are these not bottled and bond? Okay, I guess they're 8 years. I guess that's at least, but at least 4 years. Okay. Oh, shit. I love New Riff. I have not had a New Riff that I did not like, so that's crazy. Grizzly says, frankly, I've only had the Toki. Maserati Cast. Hibiki is the next on my list. I do like Hibiki. Hibiki's in this weird category for me, though, because it's kind of expensive. It's like $99 MSRP. And it's only 86 proof. But I like the bottle. It's a nice cool decanter at minimum, right? This bottle is what, if you have a PF Chang's near you, this is what they make their Japanese old fashioned with, typically. And I really love their Japanese old fashions, hence why I bought it. But $100 is kind of a little tough for. It's a light whiskey, right? It's light. It's floral. It's got citrus, but not a lot of like barrel impact that you're probably used to if you drink like a Woodford's Double Oak, for example. It's super light, but I like that. Like everything on my shelf is a lot of barrel, high aged, high proof. You know what I mean? Like it's got stuff in that realm. I don't have a lot of bottles like this, hence why I was okay with spending the money on it. Now, Hibiki does have some more expensive ones that I haven't really pulled the trigger on because I'm not too keen on spending $300 a bottle. But they got cask strength versions, extra age versions. But I think what I can do next week, or how about let's say within February, I'll pick up 1 or 2 like mid-range price bottles of Japanese whiskey and we can test them out. Because I do like Japanese whiskey, but it's got like its time and place for me, you know? North Florida says, get your out of the country whiskey. Okay. Okay. I got you. I was like reading that totally wrong. He's like, get your out of U.S. country whiskey now. Like, get your out of country whiskey now before tariffs are slapped on them. Yeah, like Hibiki's obviously made in Japan, so I get it. Yeah, I mean, if you can get it now, because obviously when things become harder to get, prices go up. Hibiki is at Total Wine right now. Hibiki's at a lot of liquor stores. But yeah, good info, North Florida. I mean, you definitely expect that, but until it really affects you, most people don't really pay attention. So, what he's saying is I need to go buy it now. There you go. Good info from the bear. I love Woodford's Double Oak. See, that's why I like this bottle. Like, I don't mind it sitting. I do got to tip this one. I haven't tipped this one in a minute. Guys, this is like a pro tip. Obviously, most of you guys already know this. But if you have a collection more than 10 bottles, or you don't drink that often, I'd say once a month, take your bottles, tip them upside down like this, and saturate that cork. Let it get wet so that way the cork stays fresh, which makes the whiskey stay fresh longer. It will save your whiskey in the long run. Don't let it dry up because that lets more air in, which oxidizes the whiskey, which also then means you got doo-doo whiskey. Grizzly says, on the note of American whiskey, if I want to buy a bottle on the higher end, what would you recommend? It depends on what you mean higher end. If you give me like a price range, I can give you a bottle. But every time I tell somebody a higher end bottle, they're like, oh my God, I don't make that kind of money, you piece of shit. Because I mean, I could say the Woodford's double oak right now. This one, it's 180. It's amazing if you can find it. But it's hard to get right now. Alex says, bro, it wasn't hard to get the last. Bro, it wasn't hard to get last time this happened. You'll be okay. I'll be all right. I'll be good. Oh, IROC, you ain't got to preach to me, bud. I'm with you. We're on the same wavelength. Cheeky says, I'm glad you reminded me. I always forget about the cork. Refreshing. Thanks, homie. Yeah, I forget all the time. And I've only had like 1 or 2 bottles really affected by it, and it's a 1792. Only because I literally can't tip them upside down. I have to hold them, which I almost never do. Grizzly says about 60 to 130. That's a good price range. That's like a healthy budget if you're trying to get one bottle. I'm going to go base off one bottle, and I may give you like a 2-bottle option as well. So, 130. What would be at like the top of 130? The very top of 130, you can get a Heaven Hill grain de glace. Almost all of them are the same price. This one's the rye. I can't speak for the others because I haven't had it, but I really do like the rye. This is one of my favorite ryes. But it's like 120, 125. If you wanted to go somewhere closer to 80, right? You got the Devil's Tower High Rye Bourbon from Redwood Empire. This is on their small lot series. It's available on their website. So you'll be at 110 plus shipping. Same thing on the Redwood Empire. Both of these are like $80 too. If you're not like, if you like gotta have 100 proof. They're bottled in bonds. The Rocket Top is their rye. The Grizzly Beast is their bourbon. Both are delicious. I've had batch 3 of the Grizzly Beast and batch 4 of the Rocket Top. From there, right, if you wanted like a 2-bottle recommendation, I would recommend Redwood Empire's Pipe Dream 101 that you can get at Total Wine, most likely. It's kind of newer, but it's like 50 to 55 bucks. And then you could pair that with Still and Cask Strength, and probably pick up like an Elijah Craig small batch or something in that window as well, all for under 120. So there you have it. Grizzly says, I've never heard of the cork refresh. I'm glad I tuned in for that. I got a few bottles that's been sitting for a while. I'll have to flip them for a night. It doesn't have to be all night. Don't get me wrong. It's not like forever, but like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? It just allows the cork to get a little wet because it dries out. And if it dries out, it's going to break. You're going to get pieces in your bottle, along with it's going to let air in. Tuxedo says, what's up, babies? Bro, Tux, you missed the whole stream, bud. You missed my cocktail I made just for you. So, but Grizzly, one of the biggest pro tips I can give you, if you ever got like a decent budget, I'd say up around $100. A lot of times you can find a single barrel at a local store that picked it, like a local store pick. Those are almost, I've never bought a store pick that I've like hated, you know, unless it's like a bottle I've completely never tried, not even in the realm of trying it. But most stores that do store picks will give you a sample too. So almost all my store picks, the Lucky 7, the St. Augustine, the short barrel Bee's Knees. Where's the other ones? Where's my other store picks? My Russell's Reserve. Not my Starlight. The Nulu was from Sealback. So basically everything I got from Wild Whiskey. I've had a sample before. My Four Roses had a sample. Tuck says, you made a pina colada? No, I made a fancy Jack and Coke. It was basically Jack Daniel's triple mash for a little bit elevated of a Jack Daniel's. I used Coca-Cola, but I used Mexican Coke. It's got real cane sugar. I had maraschino cherries because I wanted like that wild cherry feeling to it. And then I also used a little dash of Madagascar vanilla to give that cherry vanilla Coke vibes to my Jack and Coke. Overall, really good. It felt like a more elevated, like classy version of a Jack and Coke. But at the end of the day, it's Jack and Coke, so you still got that nostalgic feeling to it. So definitely recommend anybody trying it if they have the ability to. But again, it's up to you guys. Tux, oh, I already read that. Stry says, a lot of good bottles in that range, Grizzly. I mean, there is. Like 60 to 130 is a massive range in reality, but Tux says, okay, you're doing it wrong. I'm not doing it wrong. Short Video Channel says, hello. Hello. Is that a minion? Hello, minion. Trey says, what's your thoughts on Knob Creek? Haven't had any, but there's a local store that pick of the 9-year. So I do have the 9-year regular basic bottle. It's not my favorite. It's one of the bottles that kind of like helped get me into bourbon, but it was always one of my least favorites. Now, Knob Creek's store pick, single barrel, stuff like that's usually like 120 proof. Those are usually pretty good. I don't have one though, so I can't like be like, this is what I would get. I do like the Knob Creek 12 year, because that was sent in by one of the subscribers as a sample. He's like, hey, you got to try it. So it's good. A lot of people like it. It's just not exactly my jam. I would much rather buy something else instead. So, but it's not bad. Like there's no such thing as bad whiskey. It's just depends on what you personally like. Like does it fit well with you? Knob Creek, as much as it fits, it doesn't. It's not my favorite. So, is Jim Beam rye okay for Manhattans? I mean, yeah. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I got a Bullet Manhattan premix that's pretty good. I think Jim Beam probably would be just as good. I mean, if I was honestly like I like Manhattans. Don't get me wrong. For my Manhattans, typically it's like an old fashioned, for example. It's got like a little sugar, a little bitters, some smoke. There's a little bit of things to kind of mask it. Manhattans to me feel a little bit more exposed to the whiskey, so I would personally go with a slightly higher end whiskey because it's going to shine a little bit more. So I would go with like a Bullet 12 year. Still under 50 bucks. I think it's like 40 bucks right now. It's not 20, don't get me wrong, but I think that might be a little bit better. Rent to Go says, I'm in the UK, collection of Scotch and mainly Irish whiskey. I mean, you're going through the struggle right now, Ghost. So yeah, if you can get Jim Beam rye, I would go with that. Because I like Irish to an extent, but not enough to make cocktails. Scotch, you're not gonna ever convince me I'm gonna like Scotch. So I've had a few. It's just not. It doesn't really fit well with me. But you know what we should do? We should investigate. I don't have that kind of money to fly to these different countries to figure out what's available over there, so I can recommend stuff like that. But we should figure that out. Yeah. He's like, I've seen Bullet around the supermarkets. Yeah. Bullet, to me, is a little bit better than Jim Beam. It, depending on which bottle, obviously. But most of the time, I personally like Bullet. Here, I'll show you. I have a premix one. It's Bullet Manhattan Cocktail. They also have an old-fashioned one that's orange. I love their old-fashioned one. It's cheap, super easy, just pour over ice. Same thing with this, you just kind of pour over ice. So, Renego says, I prefer Irish way more being Irish. I'm also Irish, partly. I got the red beard, right? And I like Irish whiskey. I just like, I like American whiskey more. Live in England now. Okay, I get it. You're definitely going to be influenced by what you live around as well, so I totally get that. Guys, if you guys are just now popping into the stream, welcome. Happy Friday. Glad to have you here. If you haven't already, drop a little like on the stream. Subscribe. We are on the road to at least 2,000 subscribers. But again, no pressure. If you like bourbon and whiskey, cocktails, this is the place for you, though. Again, you know, when it comes to cocktails and stuff like that, I mean, drink what you like. Chopstick says, you love that Woodford Reserve. I do, bro. I'm a big fan. I've always been a fan of Woodford's, though. But, like, Alex says, what did you eat today? Do you barbecue? I mean, how do I explain this? When I go to work, I only eat dinner because I'm just busy. There's no like time for breaks. So I probably ate about 2 hours ago and I had pizza. So, but I do barbecue. I love a good barbecue. I'm a busy kind of person. Like it looks like I'm not because I have time to sit down, stream, you know, have drinks. But in reality, like I'll end this and I'm going to start working again. So, but this is like a nice, good break for me to hang out, have some cocktails. If I get too lit up, then I'll pass out and I'll have to do it in the morning. Renego says, I have long gray beards these days. I mean, you see it. Mine's coming in too. I get it. I get it. All the whiskeys have their place, man. I agree. It's Happy Friday, my dude. Happy Friday to you. Welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Stry says, that link is Family Trees of Bourbon. Thought it was cool to look at to see where all comes from. Okay. Northward says, fire burning in the fireplace, whiskey firing up my cup. Happy Friday. Saw the Bullet bourbon with the free mug. Had to grab it. North Florida, to be honest, that's how I got a lot of my first couple bottles. Not like the first couple, but like how I built a little mini collection before. Because Woodford's comes with a tin cup or glass, depending on which one you find. You know, Bullet, same thing, comes with either a tin cup or like a coffee mug looking thing, or like a shot glass. Knob Creek comes with 2 glasses. You know, Elijah Craig comes with a jigger and like cocktail mix. Heaven Hill comes with a Glencairn. There's a bunch of them out there, bro. Jack Daniel's number 7 came with a Dolphins cup this year. I didn't buy it, but I should have. Renigo says, don't have many bourbons. The usual Woodford Reserve and Buffalo Trace be main ones I know. Both are both ones I keep. Both are great. I love Buffalo Trace. Good beginner bourbon. Good flavor, sweet. Woodford, same thing. I love a good Woodford's. So, Chopstick says, what's your occupation? I work like 3 jobs, but I have my own business. I'm a wedding photographer and filmmaker, hence why the quality usually looks better than most, because I just know how to work that kind of stuff. I also help with taxes, and then I do this. So I do a few other things too, but just not enough. I don't do it enough to really like claim it. Jonathan says, Buffalo Trace is hard to find consistently here. I always check near colleges. They sell a lot of Fireball. Guys, if you don't know, if a liquor store sells a lot of Fireball, Jack Daniels, a lot of like cheap whiskey, Tito's, they're going to get more allocated stuff, typically Buffalo Trace lineup. So that's where you'll typically find stuff. Neil says, I'm drinking Grant's Triplewood Scotch. It's just okay. Well, Neil, you had me at Scotch. I can't go any farther than that. I've tried Scotch a couple times. I tried the Macallan 12 Double Double last stream or 2 streams ago. I wasn't a fan. I tried the Johnny Walker Black Label 12 year, a little mini bottle, a couple times. Not a fan. I've tried. I haven't really it's just not. I'm not ready yet. How about that? Chopstick says electrician here. It's pretty cool. It's like a manly job though, North Florida says, I grabbed 2 Jack Daniels Select with the Glen Cairn. Gave one to my pops for Christmas. That's pretty cool. Alex says, the fuck? Shh. Photography makes sense. Your vid quality is top notch, not blowing smoke up your hoo-ha. No, I know. I know it does look good. I tried. I definitely worked on it. It's one of the things that I definitely said, hey, especially me with being in the wedding, filmmaking, videographers. I do other stuff too besides weddings. But if somebody were to come across, I need them to be like, damn. But thank you. I appreciate it. I worked hard on it. The same thing with the backdrop. I built all that. Drunken Sailor Cocktail. That's a pretty cool name. Fire going, sipping on a little Makers tonight. You know what? If you're sitting by a fire, sipping Makers, that's a good night. Makers by a fire sounds good. it sucks the kids asleep, and the fire pit's a little too far for me to go and leave the kid. Man, I'd love to take the wife down there and just go sit by the fire for 20 minutes. When people compliment the look of the stream, I do appreciate that. Obviously, I love that people kind of tune in general. Just subscribe. Welcome to the family. I'm just saying. No, I appreciate it. I'm not joking. I really do appreciate it. Renigo says, what burns tonight here last night? Wait. Let's bounce around again. What burns tonight here last night? Turnip and potatoes for dinner with whiskey sauce. I don't know if I'm having a stroke or I just can't read, but I'm down for dinner, whatever that is. It's just I don't know. You're Irish, so I'm just feeling like a good Irish dinner coming on, but maybe I'm just can't read. A little whiskey sauce sounds pretty good too. This is kind of basic, but anybody had the Jack Daniels barbecue sauce? That stuff's pretty good. Same thing with the Buffalo Trace barbecue sauce. Burn nights. Tux says, all right, y'all, I got some chips. What kind of chips, Tux? He said that was written in a Scottish accent. Bro, I knew I wasn't. If somebody else understood it, I was like, fuck, bro, I don't know. Yeah, a Scottish poet. I don't know a Scottish accent to be able to replicate it, so I don't want to butcher it. He said, just subscribe, by the way. It didn't pop up? Damn. I do appreciate it. If I know, like from the thing that I use, like if your subscriptions are private, it won't pop up. But shout out to you, as always. Appreciate the subscription. We do go live every Friday at 9 p.m., boys. We go live on Saturdays. We're gonna test out Mondays and Tuesdays too, but I think Tuesdays may be a lock, just for like a random hangout stream. So we're gonna ramp it up pretty good this year. Tactical Spork, what a name, says, have you ever tried Jack Daniel's Winter Jack? Thoughts? What did I have? I had, if you mean, did Jack come out with one too? I have the Jim Beam Winter Reserve. And to me, like the winter part of this bottle is not even in the realm. This feels like a fall bottle. Cinnamon spice, or kind of in the Thanksgiving realm, right? If it had pumpkin spice in it, I wouldn't be shocked. The colors feel fallish. And it's a budget bottle, right? You can get it for like 20 bucks. For 20 bucks, it's not bad, but it's nothing special, right? It's more holiday festive, and that's what they're selling you on, right? Because if I break this out towards fall and winter, people are gonna be like, ooh, I should drink that because it's winter. Mentally, it just does something, right? But I'd much rather pick up the Jim Beam Black 7-year, slightly cheaper, 10 times better. So, like if I was gonna pick up Jim Beam, and it looks better, looks really cool on the shelf. IROC says, hey, Tux, my fucking hero. Tux says, also, I meant I got a dip. Got a dip? Tux, you just got here. IROC says, the Winter Jack was the white snowy label. It was okay, same as the Jim Beam. I saw the Jim, and even if I saw the Jack, I never even register it because it just, the Jim didn't sell me enough to like, to be okay with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, whatever. Spork says, the Winter Jack has been around for years. It's called an apple cider whiskey. Oh, then I wouldn't drink that. I'm good. Cider whiskey? The only cider whiskey I'm doing is if I'm pouring whiskey into a cider so I can check the levels of how much is what and what. But I'm not buying something that's already pre-blended like that for cider. That's not my thing. You know, I'm good. For like the holiday stuff, like I personally like more toasted, double oakish whiskeys. That's why I got this one this year. I got the Lucky 7 Holiday Toast. It was a single barrel, so it gave a little bit extra, but this one was really good, kind of like more campfire feels, marshmallowy. It was good. I was a big fan of that one this year. Hopefully I keep it enough just to make it to the beginning of next winter too, or next fall. That'd be kind of cool. Tucker says, do I just have to drink it until I like it, or will I just never like it? Whiskey in general, Tucker? Now, there's definitely like a learning curve of it, right? Don't get me wrong. Not everybody starts off loving whiskey. But if you drink it like 2 or 3 times and you just really can't stand it, then maybe whiskey is not for you, right? But maybe it's just that bottle too. So it just depends on you, right? You don't have to like whiskey or bourbon. Not everybody does. Chris says, I've seen a barrel bottle that was aged 33 years the other day. Downside was $300 and Canadian whiskey. I don't want it then. Canadian whiskey, you can age it for 133 years. I still don't want it. Renego says, is it what you call a hard cider? Yeah, hard ciders. Renego says, over here we have cider that has alcohol or apple juice. Alex says, hot chocolate with Woodford Reserve. Ooh, that sounds like a good time. Alex, what would be cool would be like a hot chocolate. Like get like a dark, or like a hot chocolate made with dark chocolate. Put like a dash of like a Bailey's chocolate cream, right? Just like a little. and like a shot of Woodford's double oak in there. That sounds like a good time. If it's cold next weekend, don't threaten me with a good time. I'll dial it up for that. I'm not saying whiskey and cider is not fantastic. I'm just saying, like, personally, it's not my thing. I don't care for hot drinks a lot. I like a cold drink. But if we were hanging outside by a fire and it's cold outside, like, by all means, slide me a little hot cider. I'm down. But if it's hot out, ugh, horrible. Eric says, bet you won't. Bet I won't what? Break out a little hot chocolate? If everybody stayed in the stream, I'll go make a hot chocolate right now and do it. I don't think I have the Baileys, though. But I'll do hot chocolate and Woodford double oak all day. That sounds delicious. Oh, North Florida coming in clutch. I do have that. I have the Buffalo Trace bourbon cream. IROC says no, but oh, fuck it. What's up, bro? All right. It's going to take me a second to make it because I got to heat it up. But I'll go do like a hot chocolate with like 2% milk or something, right? I'll do like a microwave heat up. It ain't got to be nothing crazy. I got the dark chocolate. I also have white chocolate too, if anybody's dying for that. But I'll bring in the bourbon cream and I'll mix in a little Woodford's double. Not double. My bad. No. Woodford's regular double oak. Could you imagine wasting the double in that? Tactical Spork says, how's the Jim Beam bourbon cream? I haven't tried it yet. Compared to the Buffalo Trace bourbon cream, Buffalo Trace bourbon cream is money. I haven't had really any others that really do, sell it for me. Don't forget the marshmallows. I believe I have like a one big marshmallow. All right, hang tight. I'm gonna go do that really quick, and we'll test out like a hot chocolate Woodford's double oak. BRB. With the hot chocolate. Yeah, don't put the bourbon cream in that. Yes. You don't have to boil it. You can microwave it. All right, boys. The wife's making it, so you know it's going to be good. It was taking me. I couldn't even find it. She's like, just get the fuck out of the kitchen. So she's got it. She's going to bring the bourbon cream, and she's going to, she's going to dial it in. She'll bring the bourbon cream. We'll add the bourbon, and we'll add the bourbon cream. The only issue is you can't make it with just the bourbon cream because you got to heat it up. So it's going to be milk with bourbon cream and the Woodford double. Oh, I forgot to tell her marshmallow. She'll bring a marshmallow. Drunken Sailor says, a lot of single-digit weather lately. I've had a lot of hot butter rum. Warms you from the inside out. These last 2 weeks, bro. This last few weeks have been cold as hell here, even in Florida. It snowed in Florida. So Thomas says winter jackets. Ugh. Alex says, do some Jack have rye on them? Yeah, of course. Like Jack Daniel's bonded rye, Jack single barrel proof rye. John says, had hot chocolate, Buffalo Trace cream, and Blanton's in front of the fire wrapping gifts Christmas Eve with the wife. That sounds like a good time. High Top says, could have at least put a sub in. Hey, put a sub in. I mean,
You said milk
yeah, unless we have the dark.
chocolate. No. Oh, yeah. Do you want dark?
Do we have dark?
Mhm.
Yeah, I want the dark one then. Do I want dark chocolate? Of course I want dark chocolate. Who am I going to put in? High Top? Sometimes I got to walk away. Chris says, hot butter bourbon? Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good time. Let's go, wifey. Hey, sometimes you got to clutch it up. That sounds like a good time. She'll try. Maybe she'll try this one. North Florida says, no lie, my wife makes better cocktails than I. Maybe just tastes better when someone serves it. Hey, sometimes it'd be like that. I'd say if my wife makes them consistently, she can make a pretty good old fashioned. When she goes like months without making one, she's like, babe, let me make your old fashioned. No, let me make it. It'll be fun. I'm like, I'm about to drink shit, you know? Like sometimes it's just like that. But if she gets kind of dialed in, she'll like figure out like how to do it, and then she's pretty good at it. Yeah. Honestly, the Woodford's Double Oak, because of that chocolate note, it makes a good chocolate old fashioned. I made that before on stream a couple times, and I have a full video on it. But like hot chocolate, this would be the bourbon I would pick anyway. If I was feeling like super crazy, the Nulu Double Oak Wheated that has the chocolate note, that one would also make a good pairing, but I'm not going to waste that because it's double the price. IROC says Hooter Old Fashioned. Get the fuck out of here. My wife could, even on her worst day, make a better old fashioned than the Hooters people. Just saying. Bro, that one fucked me up so bad that like you kind of go like, it's a sports bar. You guys ever watch Bar Rescue? That's what I was thinking of. I was like, somebody needs to come rescue these people because they have no idea what they're doing. Anyway, has anybody had Woodford's Double Oak in a hot chocolate before? Obviously, we got one person here that had Blanton's. It's kind of ballsy. Blanton's in a hot chocolate? You know, for my wedding way back when, we had a boozy hot chocolate bar because it was February, it was cold, we were in North Carolina, it was supposed to snow. And we had like regular hot chocolate with Kahlua, Bailey's. We had like a bunch of like fancy like, garnishes, marshmallows, chocolate, caramel, all that type of stuff. It was a lot, way more than I can remember. And then an option to have a shot of something put into it, whether if it was vodka or whiskey or whatever. It ended up not being super cold, so I didn't personally drink it because that was also half in the bag. I could drink one, I just don't remember it, but I don't think I did. Actually, I think I did. I think I had the regular one though. Drunken Sailor says, my wife's like a passenger princess. Lets me make the cocktails and then tells me to do better. Some people don't know the struggle. I understand the struggle though. My wife likes to pass out while I'm driving. She'll pass out, wake up. She's like, why are we not there yet? I'm like, because it's a 10-hour drive. What do we do? So I feel the pain. Alex says, just busted balls. Had to because she whooped our ass in fantasy. Yeah, she did. Boys, if you don't know, the wife, like, we can talk all the smack we want to. She wiped the floor with us. She only lost like 2 or 3 times in total in fantasy. Won championship her first year playing. First year, never played before. Wiped the floor with us. So, Amos says, same. When she was in practice, we had our first kid. So Rusty made an old fashioned, and it was basically bitters. That was it. It was sharp. Hey, I hear that. They all said thank you. All right, boys.
I want to try it. So tell me.
Do you want to try it? I figure you may like this.
Yeah, whenever you're done.
I mean, I'll do it in just minute? Do you want to come back in 5 minutes, or do you want to wait?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right, boys. High Top says, Buddy's going to turn me into a drunk with these shows. You do that on your own. Don't blame me. All right. So, because I don't know exactly how much milk is or any of that, we're basically going to just do like everything eyeballed. I have about this much space, about that much space in this entire cup. So, it's already pretty filled. But let's go ahead and just add in. Oh, that looks delicious already. That looks like enough. I should have measured it, but I don't. You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to measure? Travis says, beer looking good. Hey, bro, it actually looks rough. When people come in and say that, I'm like, my shit looking fucking homelessy right now. Let's add in some double oak in here. That seems about right. I'm basically at the top of this cup, so. Hey, iRock, where you at, bro? As you were talking that smack saying we wouldn't have a boozy hot chocolate. Like, if it doesn't sound like a good Friday night to me. All right, boys. This is obviously the Swiss Miss, if anybody's curious. Dark chocolate, made with 2% milk, with the Buffalo Trace bourbon cream and the Woodford's double oak. She said, tell her to do it for the boys. Drunk Sale says barrel proof is amazing. So recently did an Blanton's Old Fashioned with Blanton's bitters. Great cinnamon flavor. I agree with that. Store here has Blanton's Gold Pick in the state. They have a great program, about 3 weeks until the drop. Never seen a bottle. I get it. All right, let's give this a little sippy sip. Oh, that's I could use it a touch warmer. That bourbon cream's cold, so it kind of like chilled it off, but made it super easy to drink. That's money. That's got to be one of the best hot chocolates I've had. Babe, come try this. The one thing I like is like it has just the right amount of bourbon where you have this little tickle on the back of your throat as far as like a burn goes. Burn, right? It's 90 proof, so what kind of burn we're really talking about? But like it's just enough there to like say it's worth it, you know? Hold on, let me text her, make sure she comes try this. Chris says, you should give us a rating 1 out of 10 on that. Like, is this like cocktail-wise or just hot chocolate size? All right, let me get professional. Still got the chocolate. We didn't get marshmallows. I feel ripped off now that I noticed that. Honestly, like because the bourbon cream cooled it down, and that's like liquid marshmallow basically. Can't really count that. Fuck, bro. I feel like I could never duplicate it because I don't know how much milk she put in. So I can't tell you the ratio of everything else. But man, 8-9 on the old hot chocolate. It's got like just enough whiskey to like know it's whiskey, but like not enough. Here, give this a hold on. I'm just gonna hold the mic out. The wife's trying it, boys. It's a little bit cooled down because of the bourbon cream, but
It's good.
do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Too much whiskey?
No.
No? All right. Give us a rating. 1 out of 10. No rookie scores.
For
Just like
chocolate,
hot chocolate.
8.5.
She said 8.5 on the hot chocolate, boys.
It's really good. You're heating it up for you.
Can you heat it up just like a little bit, like 30 seconds? It'd be crazy if we had marshmallows too in a hot chocolate, but I pissed her off. I pissed her off with that one. Big Bob in the chat says 1 sip. Everybody knows the rules. The wife said 8.5. By the way, she does not like whiskey. She likes the bourbon cream. She's a big fan of the bourbon cream. Not a fan of bourbon. Not a fan of whiskey. I've tried. The far as I've gotten with her, a high top cap, bro. Liz said 8.5. I didn't give her that number. I said 8.9. She lowballed it. Just saying. Go get the Swiss Miss dark chocolate, 2% milk. Leave an inch. Okay, leave 1.5 inches to 2 inches at the top. Pour in bourbon cream and Woodford's double oak to the brim. Jonathan79 says, "Can I send you some bottles I can get allocated? Can I send you some bottles? I can get allocated bottles all day. I work for a liquor store." I mean, Jonathan, if you want to send me bottles, I mean, feel free, but I don't think you should. I mean, you don't have to. Keep your own money, bro. I'm not buying them. So, I mean, if you don't just give me free alcohol, I mean, sure, but maybe just keep your money, you know? I'm not, you just hang out. I got enough liquor. Bill says, Woodford's warm whiskey chocolate. That's what it feels like. It feels like Woodford's came out with like a cream, right? Because the chocolate note kind of was similar. I correlate the Woodford's double oak with like a dark chocolate, but still with some sweet aspects, like to the bourbon itself. So there's your short title. Oh, the Woodford's warm whiskey chocolate. I got you. I feel you. I appreciate it. Oh, shit. Drop the mic. Take another sip.
Maybe.
Oh, we got marshmallow, boys. And it's warmed. Ah, fuck, it's hot. Thanks. I'm just going to stay live. She makes things when I'm live. Like hot chocolates. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm setting myself up for a hangover, though. I was saying you some marshmallows. No, bro, we got marshmallows. We got marshmallows. Check it out. Check it out. I saw that coming. I saw that coming. I saw that coming. It didn't land on the carpet. It landed on the box I'm throwing away. Thomas said, love Woodford's double oak in my eggnog during the holidays. I don't like eggnog, but I see that being a... Boys. Hey. Drink water before bed? I usually drink like 3 or 4 bottles. With it warm? Oh. I lowballed it. 8.9 was a low ball. High top, if you're in here, if you come over, I'll make this. Well, I mean, Liz will make it, but I'll be here. This is phenomenal. Holy shit. You guys just leave me alone for a minute. Let me just be one with the bourbon. It's crazy. Like, I mean, I'm probably poured a good amount of Woodford's, I'm going to guess, but between the milk, the hot chocolate, the bourbon cream, you expected the Woodford's to kind of be like muted out. There's still like this spice on it that just lets you know, like, hey, we here. You know what I mean? Drunken Sailor says, I'm kind of in that isn't crazy about the taste of bourbon. Put it in a Glencairn, she will sniff it all day long. I get to share it with her, but I get to drink it all. My wife hates the smell. I've been slowly working her. We're trying to get her in the realm. I don't need her to drink whiskey because we may have a problem then. I just want her to be able to like experience it with me, you know, because like the Woodford's double oak was a cool thing. She sipped that. She didn't like it, but I got her to try it. Before it says I'll have to try that. Jonathan says, you make me want a hot chocolate, bro. Just bourbon creamed his pants? Facts. Hey, be like that sometimes. A little spiced up not old fashioned, a little spiced up hot chocolate, Woodford double oak bourbon cream, a little Swiss Miss, can't go wrong. I'm scared of I'm not registering how much liquor's in there because like it feels like a lot, but like it's not. It says do it. Do what? I may have missed it. Cream my pants? The fuck? I do need some water though. Bro, hot chocolate's like a fucking energy drink, bro. Just like fucking fired up. Just saying. Like I'm ready. Like you guys ready to do a 24-hour live stream? Or until I come down from my little sugar buzz? Is anybody else gonna make this? I'm gonna just drink hot chocolates by myself. I should have went outside and been able to pull my phone out there and just sat out in the cold. It's a good time. Maybe I save it. Can you save a hot chocolate? Processing. It's a good time. A good time with the hot chocolate. This would be a good Christmas drink, though. I know we're past the holidays, but just in case you want to like remember this is a good combo. Good combo for the holidays. We still got a little winter storm going on, so like perfect timing, right? Because I know if I like dialed it down just a hair, the wife would try to kill this. Alex says, "Call me old fashioned, gonna dip. See you legends soon." Alex, appreciate you stopping by, bud. As always, I will see you on the other side. Thomas says, "Not a hot chocolate fan." Okay, commie. I'm kidding. Irex says, "Switch to Heaven Hill 100." Thomas said, "Why not? You just don't like chocolate?" North Forest says, "Happy my wife likes whiskey. She only does cocktails or shots, but she tries everything I bring home. Like I said before, I turned her on to the Redwood Empire pipe dream." See, North Florida, you're just kind of lucky, right? You don't have to force her. She just kind of likes it. I don't want to force my wife into whiskey either, by any means, but I mean, it's a good time. You know what I mean? Especially be able to like talk about the bottle amongst yourselves. Chris says, "Bourbon, hot chocolate, and hot tub sounds like a good combination to me right now." What's up, bro? You got a hot tub? I'm not asking for a hot tub, but that's me asking too much. But like this hot chocolate by the fire, hoodie, little beanie on, feet up, sounds like a good time. Nikki Lynn says, "Just subscribed. Hi, everyone." Nikki, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. Glad you can make it. Irock says, "Greetings." Everybody's saying, "What up?" Bro, a little boozy hot chocolate on a Friday hit the spot. Irock, you be coming with some good ideas. I'm just saying. He can't, obviously, I ignored him for like, what, half a year on the whole Granddad 114. I was looking for it, but I wasn't like heavy looking for it. That was money. North Florida said, "To be honest, this is my second." Hey, you ain't got to do that. Second time's a charm. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I'm not going to repeat that out loud just in case. That hit Cocoa Whiskey Hoodie is basically a country song. Hey, if you see me on the top, 100 billboards or something like that, just don't be confused. I'll break out the Rock Band on the computer and we'll go to town. This is delicious. The issue is it is kind of sweet still. And like there's only so much I really want to drink of it. Like it's good, but very sweet. Do I have... Oh, I just fucking spilled everything on my thing here. Let me pick it up. There we go. And I do have more water. The wife's like, you good? I'm like, yeah, my knee just hit that. This isn't like an actual desk, by the way. This is just like a bar thing. Sometimes I try to get a little too comfortable, put my knees up, you know? Anyway, boys, so we basically, we made a fancy Jack and Coke tonight. You know, made a fancy hot chocolate too. A couple pours in. I think that might be where we call it. You know what I mean? Unless you guys got something else riveting you want me to go try. I mean, you guys haven't been wrong yet, but we may save it all for tomorrow. Heaven Hill? Bro, you got to get Heaven Hill. There's a few things that I'm pretty adamant. Woodford's Double Oak is a must buy. Heaven Hill, it's kind of on that list. You know, you got to like kind of wait for the right price, but you got to get it. Thomas says, I wonder how long the Woodford's Double Oak is going to be available. Thomas, most of the Woodford's Double is going to sell out super quick. In some random areas, it's probably going to sit like one bottle and until somebody realizes what it is. But usually that's going to be like an area where people don't spend that kind of money on a bottle because it is pricey. And that's the only reason it will sit is because it's an expensive bottle, not because somebody doesn't want it. So it's just going to be a matter of time till it's all gone. Again, they didn't make a ton. They made a good amount this year. They made more than double what they normally make. But they sent it nationwide instead of just being at a distillery, which they normally sell out of. So you got to think, people are looking for it. There was a line of like 30 to 40 people at the Costco, you know, for 8 bottles. That's how we got it. We were second. So Chris says, I'm going to call that stealth hot chocolate because no one will know I'm drinking bourbon. Chris, there was a drink I made way back when. I can't remember where I saw it. But I basically took a Dunkin' Donuts cup, put bourbon cream, espresso, Buffalo Trace, I think a splash of almond milk, and put it in a Dunkin' Donuts cup. It looked like an iced coffee. Obviously put ice. Nobody knew what I was drinking. This one's a little bit better though. No Source says, I got it grabbing a sip, $44 on sale last week. You got the Heaven Hill. Oh yeah, I mean, let's crack her open. Oh, my current non-fish hawk list. You said what, 100? I mean, Heaven Hill is pretty good. Like, it's just like one of those bourbons where it hits all the basic bourbon notes just in like a really good way. You know, it doesn't like blow your mind or anything crazy, but it just hits like normal stuff really good. said the Green River maybe third. If you haven't had it, Green River Full Proof is also under $50. Really good price. What's mine? I think it's 111 proof. Let me see. Mine is 118.1 proof for my Green River. This one has notes of peppermint and a small chocolate note. So it reminds me of Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies. That's why I even bought this bottle. So it's a good one. I like the proof on it. Thomas says Green River Full Proof is awesome. It is. It's one of those bottles that like people slept on for a while, and then all of a sudden it kind of like took off a little bit. I like the proof of it. I like the look of the bottle. I think it's a good one. It is good stuff. I also like was catching a little cold, so this hot chocolate's kind of hitting the spot, you know what I mean? Well, boys, let me check one thing real quick. One thing. Just out of curiosity, for the people that are watching currently, everything else aside, what would you guys prefer, a Monday stream or a Tuesday stream? Comment either Monday or Tuesday real quick. Just out of curiosity. If you say neither, you can put neither as well, but I mean, I'm doing one of them. It says mine's 117.3. They definitely vary, right? And that's why I was okay with picking that one up. The one that I tried was like 120. I really like the 120. 118 is about the same. North Florida says both. Jonathan says Tuesday. Bro, what the fuck? This camera's lasts longer than 2 batteries on this one. There's something wrong with this camera, bro. No way. This camera's gonna be the death of me. I know how to fix it. I need to put on the adapter, but I just keep forgetting. Alex says neither because I have forced myself to only drink Friday and Saturday. I rock. Well, I'm not saying I'm forcing you to drink Tuesdays or Mondays, but you're gonna just let me drink alone? You know what I mean? Drunken says, I'm retired. I don't have Mondays anymore. I feel you. Well, I mean, like Monday's still a day. All my days kind of run together, so that's why like that the day itself doesn't bother me too much. But I also try to kind of live in the real world sometimes and go, hey, like, what makes sense for the majority of people? You know, Tuesday was a fun night. Tuesday we were bumping in here. Mondays usually have been a good too. It just depends on the day, you know. Thomas says, any day is good for me. Okay. Maybe I just stick with Tuesday then. We had a few Tuesdays, too few any days. IROC says no days. IROC's been waiting to drink. He's been in the... What the fuck? Now that camera dies. See, that's when you know the stream starts getting a little long if cameras start dying. I should have caught that though. That's on me. That's on me. Nothing but a battery switch, but sometimes it messes the flow up, you know? And we're back. Chris says Monday. North Florida says consistency is key. I do go live every Friday. That's a given. Saturdays are, you know, hit or miss. I like to go live on Saturdays sometimes, just when I'm feeling like a good time, but not every time. IROC says, but I see bourbon, I'm gonna want it. You know, that's why we're here. Thomas says retirement's good. I just look for more days and opportunities. You know, that's all. I feel like one day a week is not personally enough. Not like from the drinking side, from like a YouTube standpoint. Saturdays are fun, but like I don't want to take up all weekend, every weekend. But like being able to have like consistently a Friday and maybe a Monday or Tuesday, probably Tuesday, sounds like a good plan. And then throw in some other videos throughout. So, as we come towards the end of these streams, I kind of, do some polling, if you will. Chris says, the mug's perfect. The camera, nope, I'm out of here. Yep, that basically. Current mood, nope. I was going to grab one of my wife's, but they're all like sexual, and sometimes people get the wrong idea, So, but yeah, I definitely want to go live tomorrow. The wife's got some stuff to do. Then I'm going to do maybe a little bit of bourbon hunting. Maybe. I'm going to check out a few stores. So we got some things to do this weekend. And then we're supposed to go down to South Florida. I don't know how well that's going to work. North Florida said, we have a corporate email saying, if you can't do dry January, try damp January. LOL. I'm doing everything in moderation. Spent the first 15 years of my life dry. For the first 15 years of your life dry. I like that. I do think everything in moderation, right? I don't think anybody should get drunk every single day. That's kind of a crazy thing to me. But from a content standpoint, hanging out with you guys standpoint, I think that'd be, a good thing to have 2 like locked in days. And if I do more, I do more. If I don't, I don't, But I don't want to lock in Friday and Saturday. So Friday for sure, probably Tuesday or Monday for sure. And then, then we got more videos coming as well, along with some other cool projects this year. Obviously, we're definitely hitting the Kentucky Bourbon Festival this year. Probably going to do the Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival in Jacksonville. There's an Orlando festival, too, that I want to hit. I don't think I will be able to, though. Jonathan says, great drinking with you all. Cheers. Good night. Mrs. Savage, you have a good rest of your night. I will see you on the other side. We're going to end it here soon anyway, but I'm just chatting with the last few folks. Thomas says, work sucks, 4 years of it, and time to relax. I can't wait. Can't wait. Narok says, sounds like Kentucky was dry, then moist, now wet. Hey, Kentucky be like that though, Thomas says, I missed 4 days in 40 years. Thomas, you're crazy, bro. I call out 4 times a year at minimum. It sounds bad, but like, you know what I mean? Sometimes. North Florida says, we dig the content, so we will be here. Cheers, everyone. Good night. Hey, North Florida, you have a good rest of your night, bud. We'll be ending it here in just a few minutes. Obviously, everything in moderation, too. Don't want to overdo it, but I got other content ideas, too, so I'm just trying to plan for the future. It's boozy hot chocolate's money, though. I'll tell you that. Bourbon cream, Woodford's double oak. The only issue is now I'm down pretty heavy on my double oak, which is going to force me to drink the double-double. You know what I mean? Guess I might have to. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, final questions in the chat, and then we'll probably close her out here in a minute. I'm trying to finish my hot chocolate, I need some more water. That thing's sweet, though. I wish there was a way to put the camera here, so it wasn't like I was constantly looking off camera. You know what I mean? Thomas says, good night, friends. Thomas, good night, bud. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end her here. I appreciate you tuning in. We do go live every Friday at 9 p.m., so if you haven't already, drop a little like, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell on. We'll be live tomorrow. We just don't know what time or for how long, but we go live Fridays, 9 p.m. We're testing out weekdays as well. So if you like bourbon, whiskey, old fashions, any kind of that content, follow along. We're on the road to 2,000 subs. Without further ado, we got to cue the outro music. I got to turn her back up because I turned it down.
Reach for the stars, I want it all.
Arak says, boo. I know, Arak was having a good night too. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you watching. As always, the support is always appreciated. I will see you on the other side. Peace.
I try to speak my mind, but I choke. I'm on the tightrope. Tired, I can't cope. No lying, no hope. The lying might show up to the party. Y'all don't want smoke. Energize the body. Raise up the army. Right now, tell me who you are. Get in the car. Right now, reach for the stars. I want it all.